It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's a drone. And when it comes to drones, people in the New York area and all across the country have more questions than answers.
2023's Chinese spy balloon sighting across the breadth of the United States was a source of endless fascination and was followed by self-congratulatory political posturing.
It was operating during the previous administration, but they did not detect it. We detected it.
But in recent days, fascination with close encounters in America's skies have given way to both amazement and disgust.
These are all drones in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 right here. What the heck?
Amazement that the federal government cannot tell the public why drones are filling the night skies, and disgust at the reasonable belief that the government is refusing to explain what is happening.
Communication breeds confidence. Silence breeds insecurity. How could you not know what they are and say you shouldn't be concerned?
The magnitude of recent incidents and reported events is startling. Initially, people in New Jersey, Staten Island, and Connecticut said they were seeing drones hovering in the sky.
They are not DoD assets.
None of them are.
To my knowledge, none of them are.
Then, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio temporarily closed its airspace, while Stewart Airport in New York closed its runway.
For weeks, we've asked for the truth and action to mitigate any and all threats to people and property. Now, we are demanding it. As the sightings increase, including by service members at Naval Weapons Station Earl, and I did talk to the commander there, his men are seeing it right there at the base.
Karl Marx said something once that is true. History repeats itself, the first time as tragedy, the second time as farce. The tragedy revived by the drone response is the seemingly unstoppable fall of trust in government, which according to a Gallup poll has fallen from a post-1972 average of 52% to 37% in 2023. With the drones, this tragic status quo has degenerated into farce.
We have not seen anything unusual. We have not seen any unusual activity.
It may be true that an adversary such as China or Iran wouldn't fly drones night after night with lights blinking for easy identification.
There's over 1 million drones registered in the United States, and on any given day, approximately 8,500 drones are, in flight.
This is lawful, legal aviation activity, manned and unmanned, drones, civil aviation. We've seen nothing that leads us to a different conclusion.
Nevertheless, legislation will now be introduced in Congress to sort out jurisdictional responsibility for monitoring drone traffic.
There is no system. This is what our legislation helps do. There's no system for registering any drone. You have, as long as the drone is not near an airport or a military base, as long as it is flying below a certain level altitude, people have a right to fly them.
The biggest story in the U.S. this year was Donald Trump's astonishing sweep back into office. But surely a good chunk of that win is a result of the public's erosion of faith in established institutions.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from, and for some reason they want to keep people in suspense.
Government credibility took a big hit during the COVID-19 pandemic, with its mandated school closures and one-sided calls to, quote, follow the science. The Biden administration let 4 years pass without explaining why it allowed millions of illegal migrants to cross the southern border. Then came the shocking outbreak of anti-Semitism on campus, and university presidents' reluctance to discipline students calling for the genocide of Jews.
This one is extremely low.
The blame-shifting language coming out of Washington was entirely predictable.
Like, that doesn't look like a drone, right?
They're sending the complaining jurisdictions resources while they're conducting an ongoing investigation.
Nothing nefarious, apparently, but they're checking it all out.
Perhaps the most maddening thing about the no-explanation drone response is the government's insouciance. And people ask why we need DOGE, a Department of Government Efficiency.
We need more transparency for the American people.
Americans deserve to have a peace of mind when they're in their own homes at night.
The president-elect promises to fix this loss of faith. Of all the hills he has climbed, this surely will be the steepest.